Go yard.
I got so much motherfucking design on right now.
Break it down, bring it back, make it clap. I got 3 old thoughts, new guap, where that thing. Bitches on my line, and you know they come.
Hey, what's going on, boys? It is your boy Cool Kid coming back at you with yet another Clash Royale video. Today, boys, I'm pretty proud of myself. I hit 6,600 with 20 days left in the season, and I'm feeling pretty hype about it. I'm using this deck over here, Hog, Mini P.E.K.K.A. Freeze with a little bit of bait with the Princess, Goblin Gang, Dark Goblin, and then we got the Log, Ice Golem in there as well. It works pretty well for me, and to be honest, I feel like I don't know how to play 100% yet, but somehow I managed to push to the top 8,000 in the world. As you can see there, 84.45 right now. It was higher just a bit ago, but I guess people are pushing, so I guess it dropped a little bit, but still pretty awesome. Here today, we're just going to show some replays because I'm too stressed out to play any more matches. So we're going to check my battle log here, and we're going to scroll down. I want to say we're going to watch 4 replays. This is going to be the first one we're going to watch. It's like a pretty gnarly comeback in my opinion. We're going up against Xeneas, and this game was pretty gnarly. We go with the Princess first play. He goes Ice Spirit Queen just to finish it off. And I'm like, alright, I'm just going to go Mini P.E.K.K.A. Hope he doesn't pop the ability in time. And he pops it, but just a second too late, so my Mini P.E.K.K.A. took him out. And then he plays the Skeletons to counter that, and we're up 1 elixir because of that trade. So I'm thinking, alright, let's go Hog Ice Golem. At the same time, he's thinking, alright, I'm going to go E-Giant. So I was like, oh crap, this isn't good. He nadoed my Hog, so my Hog won't get like any damage. And then I went in with the Goblin Gang and Dark Goblin. DPS that E-Giant as quickly as possible. And then I logged thinking he would Ice Spirit on top of my Dark Goblin, but it didn't happen. But you know what? Totally worth it because we're even on elixir and I have about 500 more damage than he does. So the game slows down a bit. So I go with the Princess at the bridge, get a little bit of chip, get 2 shots after he places a queen on it. And here he thinks I'm going to go Mini P.E.K.K.A. on it again, but I go Ice Golem instead first, and then I go Dark Goblin just to finish her off, and it only takes 1 shot on my tower. I go with a Hog in front, and he goes with a Bar Barrel on my Dark Goblin. Pretty good defense for him. He's up 1 elixir because of that. And here I was thinking, alright, what do I do? He goes with an Ice Spirit, gives me a Log, and I'm like, alright, I guess I'm going to go with Princess again. But he predicts it with Skeletons, goes in with his Queen a little bit too late, so my Princess does get 1 shot on his tower, and we're looking pretty decent. We go with the Goblin Gang right on top of his Queen. He pops the ability, so we go in with the Ice Golem. Make sure she goes down before dealing any damage to my tower. But he does have a lot of elixir on me now, so he goes with an E-Giant as I go Hog. He's going to go with an easy cannon for that. So I'm like, oh crap, we do not have much elixir to defend this E-Giant. So I go with a Mini P.E.K.K.A., go with the Dark Goblin. He goes with Queen to chip down my Mini P.E.K.K.A., but it just stays out of range of her. And then the Dark Goblin kind of chips her down. I tried to protect the Dark Goblin with the gang, but that didn't work out too well. And then he just Bar Barrels, so I had to log it. And he goes in with another E-Giant. We go with Hog, Ice Golem, and Princess just to try to take down that cannon a little bit faster. Try to get a shot on tower, and unfortunately we didn't. All we got was the Ice Golem splash. And then the Mini P.E.K.K.A. just down for his E-Giant, Dark Goblin just in case the Mini P.E.K.K.A. gets taken out by the Queen or he naders it away or something. And I go with the Dark Goblin on top of the Queen. He uses the ability, puts an E-Giant right in front of that Queen. I'm like, oh boy. I go with Log, Freeze, Goblin Gang. And this is where I was like, oh crap, I am so screwed. I am so screwed. I go with an Ice Golem just to tank everything he's playing. Go with the Goblin Gang to the side just to try to tank the Queen shots and take out the E-Giant as quickly as possible. And then we log. We have 1 Spirit Goblin alive and a Dark Goblin. He Earthquakes. And then he nados as well. So I'm forced to go Mini P.E.K.K.A. again on this E-Giant as it takes my tower down. And he Ice Spears on top of my Mini P.E.K.K.A. So we're down to 672. And he almost came back right there. Or I guess he did come back right there. But then we go Hog with this Mini P.E.K.K.A. We go Freeze. We log back the Queen. Hog gets a shot, gets 2 shots, and then he nados it away. So I know I'm way up on elixir. I go with the princess. He goes with skeletons. I get 2 shots with this princess, so he's at 317 HP. I realize I'm still way ahead of him on elixir. I go with the dark goblin, go with hog, ice golem, and then he goes E-Giant at the bridge. We're just gonna log. He doesn't have cannon in cycle because he used on the princess. And then the ice golem and the hog take the tower down with the help of that freeze. And I BM him a little bit because he totally should have won that matchup after that one interaction, but then he just wasted way too much elixir, so that was pretty awesome. And here we're gonna show 2 lava matchups, but don't worry, this one's pretty quick. Is it this one? Maybe it's this one or the second one. So I saw his name, Maddie Loves Lava, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be tough. I waited just a bit to see if he plays Lava Hound. Didn't see it right away, but then I'm like, okay, he did place a Lava Hound, so we go Hog, Ice Golem. He goes with Barbs, and I was like, do I freeze this? Oh, no, I can't. But I know he's low on elixir because he had to place Barbs along with that Hound, and so I go in with my Dark Goblin. Oh, I go Goblin Gang first, and then I go Dark Goblin because I see his balloon come down. So he wants to go with Zap, and funny enough, he didn't zap the Spear Goblins, but he zapped the Goblin, the Dark Goblin. Oh my goodness, way too many Goblins in this game. I'm messing up my words. And then I go Ice Golem in front. Didn't realize that the balloon would take out all those Goblins. And then Princess at the bridge. He goes Skelly Dragons. And we're looking alright. We do have a bit more damage than him. We have a princess on the board. Not anymore, but now we have more elixir than him. And here I'm thinking about going in hog, but I know he has barbs back in cycle. He has tombstone, and he was switching between them, even predicting I was going to play a hog. So he goes barbs instead, so I log it back. And then I see that those barbs are, you know, my tower can take them down if I can tank them. So that's what I do, go with a hog. He goes with a tombstone. I know he's going to be low on elixir, so I go in with the freeze. He can't do like anything about it. Look at his hand. He's got Inferno Dragon, which would be the best option for him. But he just lets it go. I take his tower. He does have about 3 elixir on me. He goes Hound in the back. I give him the well played, you know, a little bit of BM, you know, just to stir the pot, try get me to win this match. From him rage quitting. Unfortunately, that didn't work. We go with Dark Goblin high on this Lava Hound, Ice Golem to tank for those Skelly Drags. Nice prediction right there. And then he zaps away my gang, so I'm like, oh boy, what do I do here? I go in with another Princess and a Dark Goblin. Try to take out all this, but then he goes with a Fireball, so I'm like, alright, that tower is toast. No use in defending it anymore. He gives me the well played this time, so I give him the thanks. We go Hog, Ice Golem, Goblin Gang because I knew the Tombstone was coming out, and then we get a gnarly freeze right here. Freeze up all his dragons, and then our Spear Goblins and our Queen, or our Princess, should be called the Queen, is chipping away at all the things he put down. 10 seconds left, he has 969 HP. I just have to be able to defend and, you know, take out his tower. And without a big spell in this deck, it is kind of tough. We go Log just to cycle. Literally didn't hit anything, but that's alright. We go with Goblin Gang just to finish off that balloon after freezing it up. And then we go in with the Hog. He has his Tombstone ready. I go with my Dark Goblin, try to chip it down, and that works. And then he goes in with Skelly Drags. I get 2 shots with the Hog. Unfortunately, my freeze isn't maxed. I'm not sure if it would matter if it was maxed or not, but it doesn't do enough damage at level 13, that's for sure. So I had to freeze this balloon. And then he gives a Fireball, but he missed my Princess. He goes for the back corner of the arena. So we just log and win the game. BM him a little bit because that was quite fun, you know, destroying Lava Hound. And then the next game, I played it again. I was at 65-70 at this point, so this guy was at 65-48, and I'm like, okay, I won't hit 6600, but I'm gonna try to beat him anyways and see what we can do. He goes Hound in the back. I'm like, ah, crap, okay. So we go Hog Mini P.E.K.K.A. And I was like, okay, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. would take out the barbs, you know, 1 shot each if he does end up placing them, but he never plays barbs, so that tower goes down. And then I go Dark Goblin on the Hound, and then here I go with a beautiful freeze. He zaps. I take his tower down to under 1400 HP. And yes, I don't have much elixir, but I know I can win this because it doesn't seem that he has very many good ground cards. Or ground counters slash cards, I guess. The Hound and the SkellyDrags take my tower out on the right side. And then this balloon and the miner were just dealing mad damage on the left side. I was like, oh boy, I don't know if I can win this one. This is getting a little bit scary, a little bit sus, you know what I mean? And here we are a bit up on elixir, but he does have about half an Inferno Drag on the map. So I'm thinking, okay, what do I do here? Go with an Ice Golem just to cycle. He goes with SkellyDrags. He's kind of predicting that I'm going to play a Hog. And I'm just waiting for him to like use all his troops before I even play a Hog. So he can't really defend it too well. I go with Mini P.E.K.K.A here. Go with the Princess to try to snipe the tower. I thought I was unpredictable, but then he played a miner, played guards, so I had to log those. And now I'm like, okay, he's low on elixir. He has like 0 counters for my Hog. Let's go Hog Ice Golem, try finish him off, and that's exactly what I do. He goes Inferno Dragon, has 0 elixir to counter the rest of this. He has arrows, but that's not going to do anything, so we freeze and win that game, beating Lava Hound 2 games in a row with really squishy air cards or air defense in my deck, but it still worked out, so that's awesome. And here we were at 65.98. Yeah, 65.98, and we're playing against Nev York Satai from Xeneas. I don't know what his name is, but he was the guy that is in this clan. The clan name is, oh my goodness, I'm gonna go on a rant here. Basically, Xeneas is like a top 5 or so CRL World Pro, and yeah, I was like, okay, this is definitely gonna be hard. I don't know if this is his mini or maybe it's just a dude in his clan. Either way, he's going to be a good player. So here I'm going with a whole bunch of interactions. You guys have probably been watching the gameplay while I'm just stumbling over my words. We were on like 0 elixir there. Had to counter this Valkyrie with an Ice Golem. Just a little unfortunate. And then we went with Dark Goblin again, or yet. And he went with the log on the Dark Goblin, and now we did come back in elixir, didn't take too much damage, which was actually pretty lucky. I was definitely throwing this match. I was so nervous because I saw, oh boy, I'm like 2 trophies from 6600. If I win this, I could be top 10k in the world. And I was just like freaking out. And here I am like, what, 3.5 elixir down on him. I go with the Mini P.E.K.K.A for his Hog. Beautiful defense there. We go with Princess. So he has to counter both of these. He goes with the Valkyrie, and he's going to NATO my Mini P.E.K.K.A again, but he also decides to log it, which is really good for me because I have like Hog Freeze log bait. And so I go in with the Goblin Gang. He goes in with guards. We're both low on elixir, but that's alright. I have like half an elixir on him. So I go in with Hog, knowing he doesn't have the greatest defense right now. He goes in with Ice Spirit and Valk. Unfortunately, it only allows 1 shot from my Hog Rider. And here he is, a full Valk on the board. We're about 1 elixir apart. So I go with the Dark Goblin. He goes with the NATO. Kind of annoying. I go with the log on this Valkyrie, just so she doesn't take too many shots. But now that tower is a low tower. We go with the Ice Golem. We go with Mini P.E.K.K.A. He rockets nothing. I'm like, okay, now's my opportunity. I have 6 elixir on the board. He's down way low on elixir. We go with the Dark Goblin, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Hog, log, freeze push. Here our Hog gets an extra shot. His Ice Spirit cleans up pretty nice. And that was unfortunate. I was hoping to take his tower down in that scenario, and we didn't. Here I go Mini P.E.K.K.A, take out his Valkyrie, and then we take out his Hog. And here I'm like, okay, I got enough elixir on the board. Let's see if we can win this. Executioner down, unfortunately takes out my Dark Goblin, and then he NATOs, so all I get in that interaction was log damage. I'm like freaking out right now, like, oh boy, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? If he rockets this Mini P.E.K.K.A, I'm dead. He didn't have enough elixir for it though, so I shouldn't have been worried. Mini P.E.K.K.A takes down the Executioner. Should do a good job against the Valkyrie, especially after I played Dark Goblin on it as well. And takes it down. We go Princess just to take these guards out nice and quick. And here we have 2 princesses on the board, so he has to kind of counter those. We go in with Hog Goblin Gang at the same time that he goes in with his Executioner, and those goblins end up going through that freeze, hitting the tower, and stabbing it down, absolutely crushing his hopes and dreams of hitting 6,600 and making mine come true. So that was awesome. This is what my log looks like for the past couple games. Don't mind the Expo game. That was unfortunate. Expo is such a difficult matchup with this deck. But yeah, now we are top 84, 64, and yeah, I'm proud of myself. Shout out to SirTag actually for this deck. I saw on his YouTube channel, my princess was at level 11, and then I saw his video play with a level 12 princess because I upgraded it, and saw it was working with a level like 12 princess. So then I ended up maxing her, using the mastery cards to max her out, as well as I had like 20 wild cards for her. So yeah, shout out to SirTag on preaching this deck to the world, helping me get my top 10k, actually 8k finish. And that was your boy Cool Kid. Peace out and toodaloo.
Do 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 do.